Swatting bugs. First thing I do, start a video and it's like, hey, there's 6 on your neck and 12 more on your legs and 3 trying to creep into your mind. I'm not insane. No, just kidding, I am. So, I didn't really, usually when I do these videos, I try and kind of plan them before I start recording. And I didn't do that today. I just started recording in kind of a drunken stupor. But as you can tell, there's one thing that's a lot shinier than the rest of the things. And that would be the alternator. Started kicking out about 20 volts at me. The old one lit on fire a couple of times. Had to replace it. I'll do a more in-depth video on this sometimes, one of these days. But this is the 3rd alternator I've gotten for this fucking thing. And finally this one was right. And the belt sits good and everything. Everything's looking good. But the alternator actually isn't that hard to pull on this. The belt is really the hardest part. The first thing you do is right here. You just put a 15 millimeter, and this is a 5.9 liter V8 360 gas engine. 3/4 ton truck for those of you that are new to the channel. The rest of you already know what the fuck I'm talking about. 15 millimeter wrench right there, or socket. Preferably if you had like a short well socket, shallow well socket, like 1/2 inch drive, 15 millimeter, and a breaker bar, that'd work best for you. I didn't really have that, and that was kind of a cocksucker, but I had this buddy of mine who lifts weights and shit all the time. He'd come and help me out, so it went a bit smoother. But only 5 bolts on the back of this thing for the electrical, and I don't really know what the fuck any of them are because I'm not an electrician, but well, I got it done and it works. So you got this cable right here, runs up through there, that hooks into this right there. That's gonna be a, I don't remember if that's a 10 or 11, it's a 10 millimeter. You're gonna need a short well for that and a socket. Wrench obviously won't fit in there. If you got like a nut driver or something that's a 10 mil, you might be able to get in there, but I don't know because this shit's in the way. This hose right here does move, so that makes life much easier. That was pretty fucking warm. I just drove this thing down the road a couple of times before I had a few beers. So there's that cable right here, and then there's this little module right here, and you got this bolt holding it on, that bolt down there, I don't know if you can really see that, both are 10 mils, and then these 2 back here, those are 7 millimeter, and you got to get them torqued down and everything, well, loosened up before you take it off. But that wire there, the 4 bolts, of which you can only really see 3 of them right now, they got to come off. And before you do that, well, for one, before you do that, you obviously want to disconnect your battery. But before you do that, what I would recommend doing is taking these out. And shit, I don't remember the size. A 9/16, or 9/16 on this truck. And you take those out, they're both 9/16. You get a wrench to hold it on that side, and you get like a ratchet on this side, and that works pretty good. I had to cut a thing in my shroud right here, and then I just ended up switching to a wrench, like a ratchet wrench, and that's also a 9/16. You pull that out, and then the alternator moves all around any which way. And if you do that first, it's a lot easier to get to that cocksucker back there that you can't really see. But anyway, if you dismount it from the engine first, that'll make your life easier. And then you come back here and mess around with all this, and you put it back on and get your belt routed up. I can make a separate video on the belt if anyone would like, but I think it's A1 Auto or something. They already do a pretty damn good video on this. But I just figured I'd do my own for those of you that subscribe to my channel and might be having an issue. Second thing I'd like to talk about, I don't remember which brand alternator it is that I got, but I think the one that I was going to get was AC Delco. And they both had the same part number and everything. And according to AutoZone's paperwork, Had some fun words with them people. I mean, it's not really their fault, but still, if you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't work at an auto parts store. But, so, apparently it was the same alternator, but it wasn't. The pulley was wrong, it was too narrow, the belt was overlapping, and the old belt that I had on here that needed replaced anyways, that ended up getting shredded right out of fuck. Yeah, I wasn't really a very happy camper, so I had some words with them guys, but we got the right alternator now. So just, you know, word to the wise, if you're doing an alternator swap, just grab a belt. Preferably get a new belt, you know, if your belt's not already close to new. And then just, you know, give it a try on the pulley before you go through all the effort putting the alternator on there, assuming that it's the right pulley, just because it looks like it is, because looks can be deceiving. So I guess that's really all I have to say about the alternator. It's really not that hard of a job. It can seem a little intimidating at first with the whole belt and everything, and it's not pleasant, but it's really not that bad. Anybody can do it. You just need 9/16 socket, you need a ratchet, you need a 9/16 wrench, you need a 15 millimeter, a 10 millimeter, and a 7 millimeter wrench. If you got them tools, you can get this job done. At least on this particular truck. I've seen a few videos that have said other things, so I think on the maybe on the 318 motors, like the half tons with the 318s, the 9/16 might be replaced by half inches, and the 10s replaced by 9s, and other shit like that. I'd have no basis to really say that on. It's just kind of a speculation at this point. Because I've heard a lot of different sizes out there, none of which applied to this truck. And all those people, you know, the YouTube videos that you watch, they were all working on the half-ton trucks with 318s. So I figured I would just do a video on this truck because it's a 3/4 ton. It's got the 360 in it. And to those of my subscribers out there, I know Kyle Chelino, he commented a while back and said, hey, what's going on with the old Dodge? You haven't seen it in a while. I've been seeing a bit on the Ford, which is stuck way back there. He's like, I've been seeing more videos on the Ford, and I know that's the new truck, and so that's what you're covering on, but how's the old Dodge doing? So the old Dodge is doing better now, back in commission. I'm going to do an oil change on it tomorrow. It needs one pretty bad. I guess I can fire it up for you guys real quick. It's been a while since y'all heard the thing run. Needs a little bit of exhaust work again. This is not a cold start. I drove the truck a while ago. The motor temp should still probably be at least 170 degrees. It is 80 outside today, and it was a little while ago I drove it, but not too long. I had my foot on the gas there a little bit because I'm used to starting Leon's truck. Oh, it's cooler than I thought. It's right down around 150-ish, 155. Yeah, a lot cooler than I thought. But still, by no means a cold start whatsoever. Sounds like it's got a little bit of a misfire. It does not. What happened was the muffler come away from the tailpipe a little bit, and so now it's got that kind of psh, you know, every time the motor cycles. So that's why it kind of sounds like shit. That's the bit of exhaust work I was saying. Need to fucking clean them things out. Fun fact, I don't really smoke cigarettes anymore. I'm not going to get into all that, but yeah, pretty much done with the cigs, so happy about that. Just haven't driven the truck in a while, and so they're still all in here. Got to get that cleaned out. Can use it for change now, which, fun fact about these trucks, they got change holders right there. They actually work pretty well. So this is coming up on a 10-minute video. It's been pretty boring and pointless. I doubt anybody's going to watch it. Get the fuck off my truck. And let me know if you want a free dog. Thanks.